Yes.
I know he appreciated you telling him. He
Okay.
might be there all night. Let me get this out of
Call
your
a
way.
meeting for Tuesday, Wheaton Town Board meeting for Tuesday, April 9th to order. Well, I don't know, we're gonna find the flag here.
Oops.
Here. Say the pledge of allegiance in a moment of silence. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call.
Ruth Magerland,
Here.
Bud Beckwith, Herb Steinmetz, Alice Drosky,
Here.
Dennis Veer, Mark Laskowski.
Here. Approval of the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the Tuesday, April 9th, 2019 Town of Wheaton Board meeting agenda.
I'll second it. Okay. Motion made and seconded to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Clerk's report. Previous minutes. If everybody had a chance to read them.
I have a question.
Yep.
The minutes of March 12th, it says, Mr. Spear is operating an official town week Facebook page. Motion was made by Drosky to remove the
Thank you.
Facebook page operated by Mr. Spear.
You made
The
copies
motion
of them.
died with a lack of second. The page can stay up but will be reviewed by law enforcement. Did we vote on that?
That was a comment that was made.
It was
So
just a
then,
comment. It wasn't voted on.
it wasn't
It
voted
wasn't.
on, so
No.
we're not doing that unless it's voted on.
Right, that's right. That's right. It's not been voted on.
I make a motion that we approve the minutes for March 12th, March 26th, and April 3rd, 2019.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the meeting minutes. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Let's see, and we had the minutes for, did you have the other minutes? You just had the 12. Yeah, you had the other ones. The minutes for the March 26th and 3rd.
Yeah, I just did all those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to see
Okay,
it?
you got them for all of them. Okay. All right. Moving on. Public comments.
I have, if no one else has.
No, go ahead.
This is my last 5 minutes of public comments that I'll be making as a town official. I'll be coming to meetings, so this won't be my last 5 minutes. Last year, we discussed a situation where a town employee was campaigning for individuals that were running for town office. He did this on Wheaton payroll plan. It was decided by the town board that if an individual was working on their township job, they could not use the position or their time to campaign for any individual running for an elected position. That charge was given to an individual that works for the Wheaton Township. That individual disregarded that input from the town board and appeared to decide that this did not pertain to him. This cannot continue. I would like to know what the new town board is going to do about this. I will be looking to see where this appears in the near-term town board agenda. Also, the planning committee is currently working on the comprehensive plan that should have been done long ago. They have assigned someone on the current committee to research potential consultants to work with on the comprehensive plan. I attended most of the planning committee meetings, and it appears to me that much of the plan has already been determined before the consultants do their work. several members of the new town board have already determined what they want the comprehensive plans to be. I'm not sure we need to hire a consultant to work on a plan if these decisions have already been made. Why spend the money? The area where we want to do commercial development have already been determined by at least 2 individuals on the planning committee that are now on the town board. And that information is in the March minutes of the planning committee. The person on the planning committee that has been assigned to research what consultants we should consider for a contract doesn't even live in our township. He lives in downtown Eau Claire. We need to fear that Eau Claire will annex Wheaton property based on the information I received on where they want to do the commercial expansion. Thank you.
Are there any more agendas?
Anything else? Right there.
At the podium.
I'd like to know why the town board decided to change the turnaround on the end of 60th and put a hammerhead up there, which I heard was voted on in your discussed in here. What would be the, and the reason that I heard was because it took too long for the town employees to plow, because it's a circle. They're having coffee. They work by the hour, you know, plow it accordingly. We get a great big snow and they're tired, we gotta plow. I mean, everybody else gotta work, you know, and, but here's the deal. You spend all that money, putting that turnaround in there, which is good. We got the radiator shop up here. Semis come in, not always, but we probably get 3, 4 a month or more to pick up or drop off stuff, and they really can use that turnaround. Because they come in with a 53-foot trailer, it's hard to back in the driveway with it. What's wrong with them leaving it like it is, and when they, if they want it, when they plow it like it's a hammerhead where they gotta pull up and back in. And when the snow is gone, you still got the turnaround.
State your name and your address.
Name is Mike McGinnis,
And your address.
63 60th Avenue, right?
Gotcha, okay. Yeah, and that still is, that isn't final. What is going on there is not finalized at all.
Well, like I
at
say,
this
leave
point.
it like it is in the summertime, and then if they have a problem plowing it, plow it like they gotta pull up and back in, and you still got that area that we blacktop there, you know, for summer use in that.
Sure, I don't know, I don't think there's not been any final plans drawn up of anything up there,
Yeah.
other than there was basically the town board said, well, if you had to have a hammerhead, that the town wouldn't be opposed to that at that point, but right now, but you know, that's not final either, so. Yeah, I mean, that there has gotta still be, we don't have any drawings, there isn't actually anything real, you know, a real CSM or a real layout of anything,
But
so.
like I say,
Yeah,
rather
I mean, that's good points.
rather than tear that up, you know, plow it like it's a hammerhead, and then
I want to read the minutes from that discussion. It says here, Ken Custer discusses the reason for adding a hammerhead termination at the end of 60th Avenue east of County Road P. The motion was made by Pierre Drosky to approve the hammerhead termination at the end of 60th Avenue east of County Road P. The motion carried on a unanimous vote. Now you say it
Right.
hasn't been approved?
Well, he could possibly do that, but there hasn't been any drawings of it, or, you know, I mean, if that there could change too, right? I mean, the town just said, well, we aren't opposed to hammerhead
Okay, but
intersections.
it said it's
but
approved,
I don't
so
know.
if he starts working on it, what's the deal?
Well, we still have to have CSMs and stuff up there. I mean, that still has to come to the board and to the plan commission for a certified survey map.
I don't know what putting the road straight ahead's got anything to do with the turnaround or a hammerhead.
At that location, at the location that's there, it doesn't have anything to do with that, so.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just state your name, address.
Brian Prince, and I live at 6073 60th Avenue. I'm just curious, is the town going to pay for that construction,
No,
or is that going to be Ken's responsibility?
we aren't building new roads. Them have to be built to town specs, the town will then,
Does the town have the state plans for all this and that?
well, the town would, that road would have to be built to the town specifications, so widths, thicknesses, all that kind of stuff. And then the town, then there has to be an application made for the town to, if whoever builds it doesn't want to maintain it, wants the town to maintain it, they can, have the town take it over, but the town won't accept it if it's not built to the specs, so. But the town won't pay for that, no. Okay, anything else? All right, moving on, treasurer's report.
I have them in front of you to look over.
So what do we have left? We've got two more, we got, shared revenues, about 300,000 and something else in this summer that we get from the
We
state.
got 48-some thousand from, a check just the other day that's, it went straight to 413 account. That's the only one I've seen up to this point in time.
Yeah, but, I mean, before the end of the year, we still have the shared revenues.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
which is
yeah,
300,
right.
200 and some
Yeah.
thousand, and, just looking at the total that we have.
Yeah, well, a lot went out to the taxes, to pay the school districts.
Right,
And the
right.
county treasurer.
But that's all taken care of now.
Yeah, now we're all done.
So, yeah, that's fine, we should have, I mean, we gotta just take a look at, because of what it cost to do the snow removal this year.
Huh.
February was, or whatever it was, March, was kind of expensive, but, so we'll need to take a look at that and see what that does to the road budget, cause that is in the road budget funds, so we'll have to definitely take a really close look at that in the next month or so, and as we get to doing what road work we're going to do. So we'll have to be paying attention to that.
That'll be her job.
Exactly. Any other questions about that, or about the balances, counts? Fire board, Alice, you went to the fire board, keep it civil.
I went to the Chippewa Fire District Board meeting on Tuesday, March 19th, 7 o'clock. And everything went okay until they convened to a closed session. And then I was told by both the fire district lawyer and one of the lawyers from Weld Riley that I had to leave. So I put up a pretty big stink, but I still had to leave. They did not want to discuss anything that had to do with Loopy in front of us. I'm assuming it was because we gave Loopy the 60-day extension. So for 40 minutes, I spent my time out in the shop, and then I was allowed back in. And nothing was said to me, other than the drift of it is of course that Loopy is suing the fire district, and so I think that they want to discuss possible settlements with him. And I know that he was going to have just a short time to respond to whatever offer they made, and again, I don't know what that was. And his permit for his time that we didn't give him the extension for expired on March 21st, 2019. So, and then I was just given a financial statement, which I gave to Mark, and then they talked a little bit about workman's compensation. But the majority of the time was spent in a closed session, which the town of Wheaton was told they could not sit in on, and I was not happy. So I don't have anything else to report.
So what was the real reason given for you not being?
They were not going to discuss
Loopy,
Loopy in front of me
of
because,
the Wheaton representative.
correct,
Why?
Good
Well,
question.
good question.
But there are
good
two lawyers
question.
there, so,
Yeah,
and,
they made,
I mean, at some point, they'll have to answer to that too.
yep, they
Well, that's
removed me.
baloney.
Well, it was. I stated that, you know, we were part of the fire district, that Loopy was in the town of Wheaton, and that we should be allowed, seeing that we're part of the lawsuit. No, 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 no.
I don't know if that's legal.
Well, I wouldn't think so.
I'm guessing that they're gonna have to answer that at some point in the future. Don't know what's going to come of any of that, but, yeah, that day I was in Madison, I had to stay in, I was in Madison that whole week, and I called Alice, and she said she could make it over there, so.
Well, we didn't see that
But
coming,
it was a
did we?
good thing, cause they would've thrown me out too, and then I would've really not been happy, cause I'd have had to drive all the way back to Madison and then back down there to get thrown out of a meeting. I don't mind that if I intend on getting thrown out, but if I get it.
It was a surprise. I didn't see that coming. Their next meeting, though, is April 18th.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. You going to that?
yeah.
Me too.
So can we go to the meeting and call for a closed session ourselves and get those other people in there?
No, no, well, for the town itself, yeah, we can't do that, but I don't, you know, I'm not sure what is going on with that whole situation now, because they just won't let me talk to them. You know, I can't talk to anybody, they won't talk to us at all, because we gave them the authority to keep going for the other
60 days.
60 days. And they sent that into the state DSPS, and as far as I know, the DSPS is not, well, we'll go through that. That'll be here right
Oh,
after this,
yeah.
so let's,
Yeah.
but anyway, that's all on the fire district, so.
Wheaton isn't responsible then as long as they won't let you sit in that meeting for any part of that settlement they have with them, are they?
We'll find out.
They just booted me out.
Okay, Plan Commission. Got the minutes?
Yep.
Any questions? Any of it?
I do, where's the audio for the March and April meeting for the plan committee? It doesn't-
They're with the
doesn't appear-
town, they're with the town clerk.
Pardon me?
They're with the town clerk?
They're saved on the recorder.
But they're not on internet, right?
Correct. We voted, you voted, the board voted to record the meetings but not release them to the internet.
What reason did we give for that?
It's in the minutes, I'd have to pull minutes for it, but that was,
So if I want those minutes,
You can get.
you can request them, this is not going to be, available for the
They're
public to
open
view
records, so-
on the website. They're still available, it's just not on the
this is the
website.
reason I thought we were recording, so that the public could review it.
The motion was specific, that we would record them, but not post them to the website.
I don't recall that.
Not put on the website, is that what it was? I don't
Correct.
know. Okay.
Correct.
Yes.
And why would we do that? What was the reasons that we discussed?
I'd have to look at the minutes, but that was, it was a long discussion.
So that was
you know,
recorded, right?
The discussion?
The discussion, so we could hear that recording when we discussed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any questions about the planning commission stuff. We'll move on then, Town Parks Commission. Let's see what we're doing on boat landing, Kim. Okay.
Pressing for the concrete.
Okay, we got looking up Sharps containers. What do we need? We need to act on that stuff, or that next cut? Okay,
Well, we did find some locking containers with inserts, and then also some needle-resistant gloves. So based off of our research that we did on park security, so thought process was that, the locking containers, we could have one at the boat landing, each of the restrooms, and then each of the pavilions, so that way if, anybody comes across those items in the park, they can be properly disposed of rather than.
are we going to have them gloves, puncture-resistant gloves available to the public? Or should we have, how should we be doing that? I don't want people just picking stuff up and, unless they do have some.
Yep.
I'm not sure if people would just start, kids would start, using them for balloons or what, but. But, I mean, we probably should be doing something to make sure that, and especially people that are renting the park, and as they're cleaning up stuff around there, maybe they should have, have access to that kind of thing.
We can certainly have a pair that's in kept in the buildings for the rentals. We do a
Yeah.
walkthrough after the rentals to ensure everything's
Well,
still
yeah,
there,
cause
so.
I think what we need is like 10 pairs of, not one, but I'm not sure how much these gloves are, but,
They're like $50 a piece.
oh, are they?
Whoa, that's expensive.
Oh,
Yeah, they're reusable.
Yeah, you don't have to throw them away, so it's,
Oh, they're reusable?
yep, they're
Okay.
reusable.
yeah, we probably should have more than one.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yes.
designed for if you're reaching in the garbage to pick it up or move it or tie a bag.
Yeah, we should have several pairs, I mean, where people can, because even in people that are just using the park and renting the park and cleaning up, they're going to be, I mean, there may be things in there that they didn't know were in there, so, even that, just, we might wanna take a look at more than a couple pairs of the gloves like that. It's a problem, so.
We can certainly do that.
Yeah, and the town guys should definitely have that stuff. They need to carry them in their truck, for sure.
Mhm.
There, it's not uncommon to find needles laying in the road, in the ditches anymore. Surprisingly common.
The other thing we're working on getting some quotes for, trail cam, one that could go at the boat landing and then one for the new expansion. And also looking at some camera options for down in the park, so. Just for some enhanced security, so.
Boxes in,
What's that?
black boxes in.
Um,
Okay,
And then I should say, the other thing we did go through, we got our park maintenance schedule put together for, this spring, so along with the dates of when stuff needs to get done and kind of what we've laid out, thus far.
and Nate's good with all of it, so.
Yep, so, based off of that, we should have everything in line for our
I did hear today that there's a frozen line, one of the line coming down there is water line from the town, from the fire station down is frozen. It's not open yet. It's where there's a dip in the line and they blew it out, but Lenny thinks that water must have collected in there and froze up. He doesn't think it's busted, but it is frozen, so water's not running through there, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit before we can get that open, hopefully, not too long, but
They don't add RV,
not in the water line.
well,
Yeah, not in the water line itself. They were blowing it out, and we've blown it out every year, and it hasn't been a problem, but this year it seems to be, so. Not sure why, but, or exactly where. Lenny thinks there's a dip. There's one place where it broke, and then they ran it underneath and then back up, and he's thinking that little swag is enough to get some water, keeping water in there. It's not real deep, so. But, so he said he'd take a look at it here in a couple more days and see if he could get that air to run through it again, so. Okay. Okay, old business, review status of the Loopy issue, the dome, so Loopy stayed remaining open. He told me that the fire district said they were sending a letter to the state saying that they're were revoking his permit, and so in order to they were going to send it on the Monday following that Thursday that he had to be down. And so on the Wednesday before that Thursday, they sent a letter to the state with the town board's ruling. I haven't heard anything from either one of them, but I'm guessing that the state, the SPS has not responded to them, or they aren't going to, or something, because otherwise he would have, Loopy said he would call me and he hasn't. So as far as I know, it's, the town did what we could do, and I don't think the state is getting involved in it at this point. I haven't heard anything from them, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what they're actually doing.
well, the state doesn't do anything or respond, it's a moot point.
Exactly, right, because they're the only ones that could do anything about it anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if they say don't do anything, I know that there's some stuff, some noise going on with Chippewa County and Loopy's at this point. That, the Chippewa County is being pushed to do something, but they aren't doing anything either.
Somebody from the fire district must be doing it.
Absolutely. But they aren't doing anything about it either. They're staying out of it because it's really none of their, it meets zoning, and that's what the Chippewa County is zoning. They don't have a building department for the county. I mean, they have nothing for county building, so,
So what does the fire district have left to do?
settle. I don't know. I mean, that'll be up to the lawyers what they decide they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to try. At this point, I have no idea. They won't talk to me at all. Our lawyer said from the very beginning, we can do what we did, and if we have the authority to do exactly what we did. And so, and you know, we talked to him on the phone from here, and he absolutely said we have the authority to do that under 60.555, so, and it's really specific that we have that authority, and we did, and so it's, I think it's all a moot point, but we'll see. Somebody actually can come up with something else. Alright, review, discuss any update of groundwater issues. Don't know if there's anything going on with that.
No, except, I talked to Gibson in Connecticut, because what I did is I put in this reverse osmosis into my house to remove the nitrates, and mine is going up. It's not, actually mine's not dangerous yet, but it's going up, and he said that these guys say they will continue to go up. So, and they are putting in more units in our township, but I don't know if it's, I mean, it may be just that they're always putting them in. He didn't say if it was more or less than in the past, but, so Gibson and Connecticut, and, they'll come out and give you a free, actually, Gibson will come out and do everything free for you, just your water and everything. If you call them up, they will come out, they have all their tubes, and they put water and chemicals in there, and they'll tell you if you've got high acid, or you've got, any other problems with your water. And so, the main one right now is nitrates, so that's what I'm getting rid of, is nitrates, but, you know, you can have a whole house if you want, that's expensive. All I'm doing it for is drinking water and cooking water, so it comes out of the sink. And that, actually, the unit can go into your basement, or it can go right underneath your sink. And then, you can get water, and the water is safe for cooking and for drinking. That's all I have.
What's the charge for something like that here?
The unit that I got
Yes.
was $12.99. So I think that's probably, I thought it was actually gonna be higher than that, but,
Yeah, that's not bad.
pardon me?
That's not terrible.
No, I thought it was gonna, cause a lot of people I talk to, it's, you know, they say 2,000, but I think they must get other stuff, or maybe they have to be replumbed differently. They put it under your sink, there's not a lot of plumbing that they have to do. If they put it in your basement, they have to run some pipes and stuff, and it's gonna be more money.
Okay. Going on new business, sale of 5 acres, 6609. So,
John Nickish, I'm representing A1. So, does everybody have a copy of that CSM that we?
No, you need to maybe give them,
Okay, I'll see
you
that.
want to, I'll share it with you.
copy. How much paper?
We can look.
Okay, I got it.
Me too.
All right,
We're sharing one, that's
Sharing one?
fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Basically, that's on old 29X.
It's up on there too.
The other up there.
Oh.
Okay. Basically, A1 had bought, I believe, the whole 40 in that area. I have an aerial picture here too. Bought the whole 40, but in buying the whole 40, they had to create a parcel for the buildings to be out of. So that's kind of finalizing this deal is to get a 5-acre parcel for the buildings. They can deed that back to this person. Basically, you know, got a few questions why we have, you know, kind of a jog in the right of way there. That's just old Highway 29 jogging around the house here. So, otherwise, you know, we abide by your 5-acre minimum. The county, Chippewa County looked at it within the last 2 weeks, and they're ready to sign off as long as the town of Wheaton's okay with it. So,
For a road? Or what?
What's that?
For the road, or the zoning?
Zoning will sign off as a certified survey map, so Doug Clary.
Where's the road to this, to this lot?
The driveway, we can kind of see it on the aerial here.
Yeah, sure. We've seen the
There's
area.
existing driveway,
Okay, now I know where you're talking about. Okay, I got you.
and then A1 actually gets in on that other driveway to their backland.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah, that's fine. Yep, okay. Yeah, I guess I don't have any, I mean, it meets the ordinances, so 5-acre ordinance and everything. Anybody got any issues with that?
We didn't get the planning commission.
Okay,
I know you just
Need a
kind of
motion?
talk to Doug, you tell Doug things look good, and then he signs off on it, that's how you've been doing
Something
things?
he has. You have to have something
do
to
you have a
sign.
CSM to
I,
sign?
you know, and I don't have anything for you to sign tonight, and I know, a lot of times townships change from one, to another. The town of Tilden, sometimes they're signing their maps, other townships don't, they
The
have.
county is the one that's been telling us we needed to sign them, so,
Okay,
and if it needs to be signed, I can sign it. I mean,
Okay.
there isn't any.
I'll have to bring
It meets all the ordinances and everything, there really isn't anything, I don't think we have anything we need to, I mean, we can have a vote on it quick, so we got it on record.
okay.
Let's go ahead and make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the sale of 5 acres by Don Miklish at 6609 County X.
A second.
A1. Yeah,
Well, it's
Um,
A1, yeah.
A1,
A1.
A second.
motion made and seconded, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried. Review, discuss,
Thanks
act
for your
on,
time.
all right, thanks.
Thanks.
Review, discuss, act on bartender's license. Okay, Scott, what do you got?
There's two applications that were submitted by, for Wander Inn, both background checks pan out. No issues not to approve those licenses.
Based on the recommendations of Scott Deutscher, I make a motion that we approve them.
A second, I don't know, maybe a second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the bartender's licenses. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Got a reminder to everyone, open book will be held on Friday, April 26th, from 2 to 4 p.m. Border review will be Wednesday, May 22nd, from 6 to 8 p.m. Both of them will be here. Randy put in his letter to everybody when he shocked everybody with their valuations, to call him if there was a problem, that if you got any questions, and you're more likely to get it solved with him to begin with than to come to the board and start arguing, because there isn't enough time. It's just less likely for the board to change an assessment, and you're better off talking to him. I'm in the same boat as the rest of you.
Well, a lot of people get that and they think their taxes are going up, but the mill rate goes down. So
The mill rate goes down.
It ends up being
And
the same, basically.
now the difference is, as long as the state guys that work over in Eau Claire, in the office building in Eau Claire, if they've kept their equalized value properly, they've been saying for the last several years that Wheaton, you're undervalued, you should be here. And so you're paying this much more of the school tax and the CBTC and all them other taxes. You're already paying for that, even though your valuation was down here.
Right.
Now we raised the valuation, well, now it's just supposed to match.
Right.
So it's not supposed to change it. That's not exactly how that works, so the taxes might actually go up because of that, depending on how they had it valued, the valuation in Tilden and everybody else who has to pay into those entities, the schools, the county, and the tech schools. Them three entities are actually way bigger than the town of Wheaton. But for the town of Wheaton, your taxes aren't going up because of the town of Wheaton. It's the mill rate's gonna go down. Our mill rate will drop by 30%, basically, because we're going to be allowed to raise the levy a really small amount, 0.5% or whatever. I don't know, what was it last year, Scott, you remember?
I don't recall, but it's not significant.
It's like 0.5% or 0.2% or something is all we could raise it anyway, so that's not gonna
I
happen.
called him and he said that, because they went to 100% in the levy rate, he said the taxes are probably go down this year, for the first year after that happens, until they start adjusting the mill rate.
And they might, yeah, it depends on what the guys in Eau Claire are doing, and they're the ones, and I happened to run into them at a meeting in Madison, and I don't know the guys at all, they said who they were, and I went, really? And they started telling me how the town should be doing a full reval every year. And I said, we're gonna be more than happy to do that as soon as you give us the $21,000 that it costs us. Because that's how much that revaluation costs the township. Why would we do that every year?
Nobody does that though, do they?
Nobody does that, because it costs an extra $20,000 a year. Why would we do that? And I said, that's what your job is to make sure we don't have to do that. That's why you're getting paid. If we do that, you don't need a job. So I said, I'm gonna make sure I let you keep your job. I'm not gonna do that. Then you get to keep your job. But, yeah, the taxes, what you gotta look at is just talk to the neighbors. You can look online. If it looks like it went up about the same as what the neighbors did, if it went up an unreasonable amount compared to the neighbors, it may affect your taxes. That might be a complaint.
I'd like to know if mine has a value $3,000 more than I paid for it in June. And I'm curious how that works.
You had a deal.
I didn't get a deal.
I'm telling that.
No, you can call.
If I go through all the values and the bank values, that were all done in June, his is $3,000 more than any of theirs.
I call him and ask him. I mean, that's a legitimate,
Well,
that's a legitimate thing to ask him.
$3,000 is $3,000
Yeah,
But what's your total value? 200,000?
more.
That's less than 1.5% of being right
It
on
may
the money.
be, but it's still.
But
it's still a 3,000, yeah, I mean,
it's an overall average.
But
It
just
should be a
call
normal
Randy.
average, it should be a fair market value.
right,
Paid more than he paid market value for, so how can that be?
right. Yeah, I would call him. That's
I'm just
worth,
saying, I just,
yeah, that's
that's
worth,
how it was done, I don't know why it was done.
yeah, I don't know, I would call him and ask him. He may not, he may have done something that says, oh, geez, I got a mistake there. I mean, and it's something that we need to know sooner than later, because he bases stuff on that. I mean, things are sent to the state where they allow us to raise our levies, and that's all calculated in there when the state says how much they're gonna allow us. That kind of thing is calculated in, so it actually it does make an effect. It has not a lot, but it does have some effect on the finances, so. But yeah, call Randy and he'll work with you if you have a complaint. Next thing is a reminder, any community members wishing to serve on the planning commission, contact either me or Scott for consideration of the appointment. April 30th, we'll meet here at 7 o'clock, and we'll appoint 2 people, one for Wayne Miller's seat and one for Gary DeMoe's seat, and then we'll both be up in 2022. And then the board member, it just works out that if we do that yearly, it's just gonna work well for doing that. But the other people would be, then it's a 3-year term each time. And I'll tell you right now, the only person that has contacted me is Herb. So, anybody else who wants to be on it, they need to contact me. So, or Scott, you can contact Scott. And then that way, we'll have them put together. It'll be just me and Scott that'll have to keep up with all of that. The rest of the board members won't have to. And we'll come up with a decision on the 30th. Any agenda items? Let's see what happens. We got a town, oh, and the annual meeting's next week here, 7 o'clock. So that'll be a meeting of the people, so people can come and say whatever you want. All these agendas don't mean anything then next week, so you come up and you still have to maintain order, but but you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Lower the board salary. I bring that up every year, so. Anyway. Next meeting is Tuesday, May 14th. The next regular meeting will be Tuesday, May 14th at 7 o'clock here. Motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second it. Motion made, seconded to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Meeting adjourned.
All right.